Hey, what's going on, guys? Pineapple Sway here. Today I'm bringing you guys some more Borderlands 4 content. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing as it helps me out a ton. I recently hit 4,000 subscribers, so for today's video, in case you guys are unaware, and if you're new to the channel, I was doing a 4,000 subscriber giveaway. So just wanted to say the winners of the giveaway was Luca19453, RN Clips, and the Real 1711. I'll message you guys as soon as I can to get those gift cards to you guys. But let's talk about what I want to talk about today, and that is Borderlands 4 on Steam. Now, before you guys give me crap and you know, make fun of me for what I title this video and whatnot and what I'm about to talk about, I absolutely love Borderlands 4. I have about 40 hours on it so far, roughly. I haven't finished the game yet. I'm about level 30. This is old footage. I haven't gotten any new footage. But I've been playing the game on Steam, and it's just, you know, I've enjoyed the experience. I've had a lot of fun, but man, I talked about it in my last video, Borderlands 4. It's just, there's an undenying problem that Borderlands 4 just doesn't perform well on Steam. And in all honesty, I thought it was going to be fixed with the most recent update, which I think came out today when I'm making this video, or yesterday, excuse me. And it just, I still just have issues and have problems, and I don't really know what it is. And you know, it kind of you know, take it the wrong way when, especially Randy Pitchford, you know, is saying that basically my setup is garbage and that I need a better setup because, you know, all my hardware is from this year. I have new hardware. I mentioned in the last video that I have, you know, a 4060, and I know that that's, you know, my hardware isn't the issue, it's not the problem, but Borderlands 4 just continues to run poorly for me and just cause problems that are just absolutely outrageous for a 2025 game. And, you know, it sucks because it's like, I really enjoy this game and I think it's a really fun experience. I didn't play much Borderlands 3. I played a little bit of Borderlands 2, but, you know, I'm really enjoying this more than, you know, the previous Borderlands games, and, you know, trying to get more into the looter shooter genre. And you know, what's not the perfect game than Borderlands, but it's just, you know, the Steam version is just not great. And even my friends on Xbox have been saying that, you know, the game on Xbox also has a lot of issues and a lot of problems. So, you know, it all just comes down to, you know, what are we doing? You know, what is Gearbox doing? You know, I've been saying that honestly, I think they just could have handled it a lot better. Especially with Randy's statement. You know, Randy saying that basically everyone is broke and we all had bad setups. I just think that's a terrible way to sort of address that your game has an undenying issue or a problem. And like what I said, this game is really good. I know a lot of people online have been wrecking it for the story and other stuff that I just won't mention in this video. But for the most part, I've enjoyed this game. I enjoy the mindless grind, if you will, of, you know, grinding boss fights over and over and getting that epic legendary gear, and really just crafting amazing builds like the character I'm using. I can't remember her name exactly, but I have this build and it's basically like a nuclear bomb. It's absolutely hilarious. But, you know, enough rambling from me. It's just, you know, the performance on this game, the Steam version of this game is a disaster. Maybe you can even argue that the Xbox and console versions are a disaster as well. I do know too that the Nintendo Switch version was delayed indefinitely here recently, so, you know, it's just a lot of issues for Gearbox, and I really hope they can get this game running correctly on Steam and not having so many issues, not having so many problems. I know everyone's different, because I know I'm probably going to get a comment of people saying that the game runs perfectly fine for me, and, you know, that's great to hear, but, you know, that doesn't mean it's going to run great for everybody. Some people are going to have a great, smooth experience, while others, like myself and, you know, my friends, aren't going to have the best experience. But I'm not going to sit here and, you know, trash the game and call it horrible, because it's not. It's a really fun game. It'd be a different story, you know, if this game was poorly optimized and not good. You know, then I'd be making an entirely different video and debating on that. But Borderlands 4, you know, I feel like they're really sitting on a gold mine here and a real good, you know, masterpiece. And I hope by the time, you know, the first DLC drops for this game, I hope this game is, you know, somewhat in a good playable state. It definitely is playable, but after, like, I would say an hour of playing with friends, it just can completely crap itself. There's really no other way to put it. I really hope that maybe Randy, as I mentioned him, like what I said, the way he mentioned, the statement he had for the problems with this game, like what I said, it just kind of rubbed me off the wrong way, and probably others as well. Hopefully, he can address, you know, the game's problems in an actual like correct way, and say, hey, we're working on it, we're gonna fix it. Because like what I said, the first fix hasn't really changed anything for me. I'm still facing issues of performance and quality, and it's just overall not good, especially playing in like multiplayer sessions. It's just bad, and there's just really no other way to put it. But like what I said, this game is really fun, but it's just constantly like latency issues, rubber banding, all this stuff, and then poor performance, just bad frame rate, everything that revolves around performance, you name it. I've had those issues, and it's like, yeah, sure, you want to point the finger and say it's my setup, go on ahead. When I know it's not my setup, I can run other games perfectly fine. I've played a ton of new games this year and have had no issues, but Borderlands 4 has just continued to bring undenying problems for myself. And like what I said, it's a real shame because Borderlands 4, like what I said, I've said like what I said like 10 times, but I'm making this video late too, so bear with me. But I really think Borderlands 4 is a really great game, and it has potential to be incredible, but they're already kind of shooting themselves in the foot by not really addressing the issues, and like I said, the statement from Randy, as I've already mentioned multiple times, and just not really finding ways to properly fix the game. There's really no other way to put it. I don't know if this game will like ever be in like a true smooth playable state. I really feel it's always just gonna have problems, especially on Steam, but that's pretty typical for Steam games. Most Steam games typically have issues, but I feel like most of the time they usually get fixed relatively quickly, and then people just move on. But I still see on Steam people talking about the undenying issues that this game has. So I know I'm not alone in that part because I'm still having issues myself. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys having a smooth experience with Borderlands 4? Like what I said, I'm having a great time playing the game, but in terms of performance and just technical quality, it's been a really bad experience. It doesn't hinder the game's rating for me in any way. I still have an 8 out of 10 for this game, and I don't think that's going to change. Although, I'm not really invested truly into the story, I won't lie. I have enjoyed just grinding boss fights and just playing the game mindlessly from time to time with my friends, and just enjoying the looter shooter aspect this game has to offer, and then creating a bunch of builds and whatnot, and finding new gear to use. But yeah, I want to hear from you guys if you guys have had performance issues. I really have just had performance issues since launch, and my PC just doesn't seem to like this game. I don't know why. I can't really mention everything because then it would be like a 30-minute video. I want to keep this video within like 9 minutes, and we're approaching that 9-minute mark. Anyways, though, please let me know, what you think, and if you guys think I'm crazy or stupid, go ahead and say that. It doesn't bother me. I'm standing on what I said of this game is just a disaster on Steam, and I really do hope that it can get fixed soon. The first update, the first fix didn't really seem to fix anything. I still have undenying issues and problems. So maybe they can finally have a second fix, and then maybe, I don't know, an actual statement from Randy that isn't calling everyone broke and a bunch of idiots for having bad setups, apparently. Yeah, so anyways, though, this is Pineapple Sway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out.